I am not teaching, I am publicly learning, but hi and welcome to Learning for Life in UK. This is part 340 while doing risk training, and this chapter is, I think, not possible to make completely family friendly, and this is about crimes of sexual nature. Domestic violence is the title, and also sexual crimes. So domestic violence. In the UK, brutality and violence in the home is a serious crime. Anyone who is violent towards their partner, whether they are a man or a woman, married or living together, can be prosecuted. And now we're getting into the subject of rape. Any man who forces a woman to have sex, including a woman's husband, can be charged with rape. It is important for anyone facing domestic violence to get help as soon as possible. A solicitor or citizen's advice can explain the available options. In some areas there are safe places to go and stay in, called refuges or shelters. The 24-hour National Domestic Violence Free Phone helpline is available at 0808 2247 at any time, and its voicemail service allows callers to leave a message to be called back. You can find out more by visiting its website on https://www. nationalhelpline.org.uk. I can't read the name. No. nationalhelpline.org.uk. Alternatively, you can try the Women's Aid website on https://www.womensaid.org.uk. In an emergency, you should always call the police, who can also help you to find a safe place to stay. So let's go through it again, a little bit of explanation. So in the United Kingdom, brutality and violence in the home is a serious crime. It is a serious crime if someone does brutality or violence in the home. And anyone who is violent towards their partner, no matter if they are the man or the woman, and no matter if they are living together or are married or whatever, can be prosecuted. So violence at home is a serious crime. And no matter if it's a man or woman who suffers from violence, it is a serious crime. And any man who forces a woman to have sex, so if a man forces a woman to have sex, that is rape and a very serious crime. One at the absolute top. Yes, including a woman's husband, that means also if it is the husband. So also if in a married couple, a man and a woman married together, if the husband forces the woman to have sex, if the woman does not want sex, if the husband forces the woman, also if they are married, that is rape. So if the husband forces his wife, if the husband forces his wife to have sex, that is rape. So if the husband forces his wife, it doesn't matter if they are married, if a man forces the woman, that is rape. Also in marriage. And I want to add it here, it's not written here, and I don't know the law exactly for the United Kingdom, but it's also a serious crime if a man is raped. Whether the rape happens through another man or through a woman, also raping a man is a very, very serious crime. It is important for anyone facing domestic violence to get help as soon as possible. So if someone faces that someone else does to them domestic violence, then they should get help as soon as possible. A solicitor or a citizen's advice can explain the available options. In some areas there are safe places to go and stay in, called refuges or shelters. So in some areas there are shelters and refuges where can people go if they are facing at home domestic violence, rather than a shelter. And there is the 24-hour National Domestic Violence Free Phone helpline available at 0808 2247 at any time, and its voicemail service allows callers to leave a message to be called back. So 24 hours at any moment of the day, people can call there, 0808-2247. And there's also a voicemail if they want to be called back or something like that. And there's also a website called National DA-helpline.org.uk, something like that. Alternatively, you can try the Women's Aid website on https://www.womensaid.org.uk. So there are organizations trying to help people if they're facing domestic violence. And if there's an emergency, then you should always call the police. And they can also try to help you to find a safe space. And I want to add in this case here also that this is maybe also a couple of years old, and the situation has become better even so. If there's here not all mentioned, maybe just here the Women's Aid for Women's in Help or something like that, or that a woman is being raped, the situation has become even more in to help the people. So if here's not written that men get help if they're facing domestic violence, the situation has gone better from that. I don't know the laws all exactly, but they are not writing it here. I want to bring that up because it's not written here. And they are saying here women's help. As far as I know, the situation has become more in direction that also more men who are facing domestic violence get help. I think we're having the key points. It's important to act as soon as possible if someone faces domestic violence through Citizens Advice or Solicitor or the 24-hour National Domestic Violence Free Phone Helpline 0808-2247, or through the website nationaldahelpline.org.uk or also womensaid.org.uk. And if someone does violence or brutality against their partner, no matter if they're married, living together or whatever, that is a serious crime. And if a man forces a woman to have sex, also if they are a married couple, that is rape and a very, very, very serious crime. So that's it with that subject. And if you're here just for the next subject, maybe we're going to do the two together in one. If you're here for the next subject, then you can go directly to the next part. Otherwise, we're going to do a Northern wrist training, but before we're going to do that, let's look what we had here for Northern Ireland. The Northern Ireland Assembly, after the Belfast Agreement 1998, 90 members of Legislative Assembly, and it uses a form of proportional representation. Ministerial officers shared between the bodies. What do we remember? So, formed after the 1998 agreement, 90 members of Legislative Assembly, minister offices are shared, minister offices, and it uses, like the Senate, not like the Scottish Parliament, a form of proportional representation. Now we're just trying to participate in that diversity. We're having my hands next to us, formed fists, and we're bringing them down. And again up. We're having 3 rules. The first rule is that we are stopping immediately as soon as there's pain. And the second rule is that we I have a I'm only as fast as it's possible with a little bit of effort, so we're not forcing anything here. And the third rule is that we we're doing it, so it was already a bit much. So that's that. And the next exercise, that was the spotlight, now we're doing the flashlight. We're bringing the fists to the inside and to the outside, and we're doing quite a lot of exercises. We're short on time, but we're doing quite a lot of exercises, so you can also skip 1 or 2. But I'm going to announce them, which you can perfectly skip. But you can also skip more. The next one, it is the T-Rex in the morning. We bring up the hands down and up. But some of these first exercises are a bit necessary to warm up for the other exercises. So. But keep the first, second, and third rule in mind. So let's pause enough of a T-Rex in the body. You have a T-Rex in the gym. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can use also just a strong fist. Make a strong fist. And release again. And press again onto the tennis ball. and release again, and press again onto the tennis ball. And we're switching, and we're pressing again onto the tennis ball. And releasing, and we're pressing again onto the tennis ball. Releasing, and we're pressing a last time. And now we do. I still want to tell the free rules, I'm still a little stuck in. Now we're to your quarters big bang. Place the fingertips with moderate. Place the fingertips on top of the fingernails of your hand. And yeah, but when we are pressing a little bit and we're opening while slowly and closing again slowly. And we're switching. So we have three rules in mind. The first one is that you stop immediately as soon as you feel pain. The second one is that you go on as fast as you can go with a little bit of effort, so don't force anything. And the next rule is, now we're doing the field thesis. We're figures director. And we're opening slowly and we're closing slowly. So go on as fast as you can go with a little bit of effort. And the third rule is that you don't overdo it. And the last time opening. And that's end. Out. Now I still can't get it. The Basque bridge or something like that. And we're having plans and we're bending them at the knuckles. And again. Now the claw. You can skip this exercise. That is just we skip. The best one. One of the best. And make claws. Open. Make close. Hold it for 1 to 2 seconds. And open again. And one last time. Close. And open. The next one. The ice X. Bend the hands at the knuckles. And press with moderate force on the top against it. Now with the other hand. Bend at the knuckles. And press with moderate force on the top of it. Now you can skip this one again. The frog testing water temperature. You bring the hands down into flexion with flat fingers. Now with strong fists into extension. And again down into flexion with strong fingers. Again up, strong fists, extension. And down, that's the last time. And again up. Now bring the arms in with strong fists. And out into extension of the hands with flat fingers. Again in, strong fists. You can also skip this exercise, we're having another one similar. A moment. I think it's the next one. And again in, strong fist. And the last one out, extended flat fingers. And let's end here. And now, last one, the unfolding rocket boosters, long arms, strong fists to the inside. And into extension, flat fingers, strong fists to the inside, to the outside, the flat fingers, and the last one, to the inside, strong fists, to the outside, flat fingers, and we're ending here. And now we're going with moderate force over the middle part of the lower arm to relax the extensor digitorum muscle. And the last time, now on the other hand, go with moderate force over it a couple of times. And the last one. And we're having a minute left. Let's read the first verse of the national anthem. So the first verse, so the national anthem's name is God Save the King. Maybe you're going to ask, wait, what is the name? We're thinking, again, 2-3 other hymns which we have the name of. So God Save the King is the national anthem. God Save the King. And the first verse is, God save our gracious King. Long live our noble King. God save the King. Sent and victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the King. This is the end. I thank you very much, and until next time.